Tuesday of the Miami Book Festival, and you guys are tuning in to the live interviews with RockHill Publishing. So, James, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for returning to the Miami Book Fair RockHill Publishing live event.
Yay.
Yes, yay.
That was a mouthful.
It always is. I should shorten that. I'm going to call it the MBF from now on. The MBF RHP. No, I won't do that. It'd be real confusing for me. I don't know about you guys.
It would be for us too. So I think calling it the Miami Book Fair is good enough.
Yes. And we are live on Facebook. This is our Tuesday. Today we're going to do interviews, but first let me welcome everybody from Facebook land and from Miami, and let them know that they can find us if you go to the marketplace. You go down from the Miami Book Fair online, slide down the page, you'll see the marketplace. Click there, you'll see that beautiful dragon that's behind Sandy. That's our logo. You click on that, it'll take you into the page, and you can find all sorts of things like 20% off all our books, 99 cents for all our ebooks. There's links up there to YouTube and to here. So go to the marketplace and find us.
And from the marketplace, you can go, as Jane said, to watch all these videos on YouTube. So these videos that are coming to you live every night, every evening. I was just thinking as you were talking though, James, you know what we're missing? We're missing getting to be in Miami.
Who are you telling? Who are you telling?
Miami is, I didn't realize because I'm from Florida, but I didn't realize how beautiful the Miami coastline is until we went on the cruise. And so 2 years we went on a cruise from Miami, and as that ship leaves, I'm like, holy crap, that's beautiful.
Ain't that a beautiful sight, sailing out of the Miami port?
Oh my God.
Ain't that a wonderful sight?
I mean, I'm a marine biologist for a reason. I get to see all these really pretty things.
And Haley, was that in some kind of dream of yours or visualization or something that I'm going to live in Miami on the coast of Miami Beach or something?
Heck no, I hate Florida. It's too hot year round. I'm here because this is where all the jobs are, and there's also some really good diving. It's growing on me, but it's still too hot year round. But
I love it down there.
It's beautiful though, right, Haley?
Oh yeah, it definitely has its moment. It's got one of my favorite sunsets in the world.
Oh, I bet. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine.
Right time, right place, and there's nothing better than this city.
Well, we're going to give you some information about Miami and about RockHill Publishing and our two guest authors tonight, Haley Kilgour, author of Nanagin, and John Ford, author of the hardcore science fiction Dimensions. So we're
Dominion. Dominion. I'm sorry. Dominion.
Oh, Dominion. What did I say?
Dimensions.
Dimensions, Dominion. It's all the same.
Dominion. Sorry. And then James, of course, is going to talk about his books. And James has several different genres. Which one are you going to be talking about tonight, James?
We are going to be talking about the Killer Series, which is adult crime, urban fiction.
Wow.
Which I just found out I was urban fiction. People come to me and tell me these things. They're like, do you know you wrote an urban fiction? And I'm like, no, not really.
Well, as a marketing person, you know what that tells me? You have a new hashtag.
Yeah, my hashtag keeps growing.
I'm sorry?
I said my hashtag keep growing.
Yes, it does. It does. Every time I put something on Instagram lately, I'm like, okay, what new hashtag can I look for? And I've discovered, and so I know you guys that are Instagrammers knew this all along, but when I'm going to put a new hashtag in, I do hashtag and type out the word, and then Instagram gives me this long list of other or similar hashtags or similar words, and I picked the one that's got the highest number. I don't know, is that what I'm supposed to do, Amy or Haley?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
You should
want
follow.
Of like big ones and little ones sometimes, but
Yeah, you don't want to only do high ones because then you won't get seen. So you want to kind of sandwich it in between and have some that are like really big following and some that are smaller to help with your.
I had a feeling it might be kind of like that big fish in a little pond kind of thing. If you want to be seen, sometimes you gotta go to the little pond. So anyway, our conversation tonight is not going to be talking about hashtags. It is going to be talking about books and authors. And so I wanted to get something a little bit different tonight than what we've been talking about. So James, tell us about your urban legend books. Which ones are those?
Okay, they are, let me slide them out here. I should have put them on the other side, but there we go. Okay, we have the first one. Let's see. Okay. Killer with a Heart. Move the fingers. And the second one, Killer with Three Heads, which I really like this cover. And Judith, as you know, Sandy, Judith ripped me apart on that cover. So I redid the cover because after all, when someone gives you good advice, you take it, you know? So
when you know that person kind of knows what they're talking about anyway.
Yeah. So I changed the cover on the Killer with Three Heads, but didn't change the inside. So it's an urban adult crime novel. It deals with the mafia and gangs in New York, starting around the 1970s and going through about the 1980s, 1990s. It's a 4-book series. I wrote all 4 books. I have the last 2 books that are in various stages of editing now. As I'm wearing my NaNoWriMo shirt, because we are in NaNoWriMo, Killer with Eyes won the 2019. So I finished the series last year, and I'm working on editing it and things like that. It always takes me a while to edit after I finish the series because you go back, you want to add more, you want to do this, you want to do that. And one of the problems with ending a series is you're so attached to your people and your characters, you don't want to let them go. You don't want to put them out there in the world. They're like your children, although these are very bad children, but they're like your children. And
Killer Series, that sounds like, yeah. Sounds like bad kids.
Yes, they are. But it's a fun story. I have a couple of 5-star reviews. I just got another 5-star review. The woman told me she read Killer with a Heart in 1 sitting.
Wow.
She could not put it down. And I was like, yes. Then I did my job well.
Is that review on Amazon or where is that review?
It's through Authors Den. I'm a member of Authors Den. And Amazon will no longer let me put reviews on Killer with a Heart.
That's interesting.
I think someone in Amazon read the book.
Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take some of these reviews like that one. And this is for John and for Haley. So I'm the marketing person. I'm the one that makes sure we're getting the most bang for our buck from these reviews. So when you have a review that says something like that, I want you to put it on Facebook and tag me.
It's on Facebook.
My Facebook page.
It's on Facebook. I got to tag you. I got to tag you. I'm not really good at all the tagging and the hashtags, as Haley will tell you. I'm the old man in the group.
You're not the only one.
I'm
the youngest one out of the group. I gotta carry us like with the hashtags, man.
I'm telling you, I don't know what you guys at RockHill would do without Haley, because she really does do a lot. Every time I share anything or post anything or do anything with Instagram, immediately I see Haley liking it. So
I get 9 or 10 things from Haley a day. I think Haley doesn't do anything but Instagram all day.
No, I don't. The sad thing is I've already read like 10 books this month and written a little bit, and I work. I'm just really efficient.
So I have one question I'm going to ask all 3 of you, because I know that you all work full-time jobs and you're working almost full-time on marketing your book and getting your book out there. And especially this year, you've all been really gung-ho with getting it published. And James, being the publisher, has had all of that work. So what do you do to balance your life, so that you have some time for, and James, I'm asking you first as the publisher, what do you do to balance time for James, time for Athena, time for the authors, time for the marketing? and still have time to work. So and now you're doing NaNoWriMo on top of all of that. So how do you do that? And what secrets would you give to someone who is a young, budding, thriving author or wannabe thriving author to make sure they get everything in?
You have to have some kind of hobby. Now, for a while, I said I have very few hobbies, but boating is one of my hobbies. I really haven't taken my boat out in a while. But boating has been my hobby. I also do work around the house, but that's more of a necessity than a hobby. And like you say, I write because now it's NaNoWriMo, and I really fallen behind on my NaNoWriMo. I'm like 10,000 words behind, but that's fine because as long as I'm writing something every day, it's good. But my newest hobby, and Athena's probably going to get mad for me saying this, but my newest hobby is shooting.
Shooting.
Yes, I bought a gun and I've been to the shooting range. And so my new best friend is my gun. And I go out to the shooting range and I'm a good shot. I'm a pretty good shot. So, you know, it's fun.
Is shooting range outside or inside?
Outside. Now I started doing the shooting range because when I was writing Killer with the Heart and the Killer series, I haven't shot a gun before. I went hunting with my father and he wouldn't let me pull the trigger because there was nothing to shoot at. And we're sitting out there freezing our butts off. And I told him, you know, at least let me fire the shotgun once. And he was like, bullets cost money. We're going home. So I was like, yeah, forget this. I'm not going hunting again. It's freezing. I'm from New York. So, you know, we go hunting. It's freezing. And so I've never really fired a gun before. So when I was writing Killer, I wanted to fire a couple of guns and I wanted to fire a machine gun to see how it is because that's part of your research. You got to, if you're going to write about something, you got to know about it. And so I live down the block from a shooting range. So about 2 blocks down from my house is a very nice shooting range. And they also let you shoot machine guns on your birthday. So I went in there and I, you know, got a machine gun and, you know, tore up a few posters, a few, you know, things. And I really liked it.
That's my kind of place right there. I'm telling you, that would be so much fun. I would go there every birthday. I love things like that.
Yeah. So I really liked it. I mean, I'm not really a big gun person, you know. I don't think people should have most of the guns they do have. Being from New York, you could probably understand that. I lived in places in New York where it was a shooting gallery. I came home one night, worked for a bank. I came home one night and I lived in this building, 6-story building with 2 glass doors at either end, opposite end. And I come home one night, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning after working nights in the bank. And the place is riddled with bullets. Both glass doors are riddled with bullets. And I get to the door and people are hanging out and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And they go, oh, you know, this guy and that guy, you know, this gang and that gang was having some difficulties. And I was like, really? I'm looking around, I don't see any blood on the floor. So I'm like, did anybody get hurt? They're like, no one got hit. I said, okay, so you just tore up the place. You didn't hit anybody. That's nice. So
I've actually heard that before, James, that it's shockingly most of the, like, you know, riffraff that owns guns, they're terrible shots. You know, they don't realize that just because you can hold a gun doesn't mean you can actually hit. It's actually kind of hard to aim and shoot. I don't know if that's really true. I'm not, you know, I don't own a gun.
It's a lot different shooting at a target that's not moving and not shooting back than it is shooting at one that is moving and is shooting back. Mm-hmm. So when you go hunting, you know, it's hard to hit something that's moving through the woods, but it's really hard to hit something that's actually trying to shoot you too. So that's why a lot of people, and even they tell you police and on Army, I got 2 sons in the Army, they'll all tell you, yeah, you're about 30% accurate, maybe 40% accurate when you're under fire, because you're trying not to get shot. That's your main thing. You're trying not to get shot.
Yeah. So John, how do you balance, you know, writing your book, working and hobbies? Because you like to bike, right? You're a biker.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's funny this came up because I just was having a conversation an hour ago that I'm a software engineer. I'm a meteorologist that actively is still involved with the community and write these laboriously long science blogs, you know, that are speculative about theoretical meteorology and climatology and so forth. And I'm also a budding science fiction author. So I have like, and my day job is software engineering, and I just got on. I was on the phone with a client right when I was getting ready to start running on the treadmill. You know, I had to white glove her through an issue. And then, you know, I ran 6 miles on the treadmill inside of 50 minutes. And then I was rushing over to the store and I'm looking at my clock, you know, because I got to get back and to get on to thinking that I was on a romance meeting tonight when it's actually just the interview one. So to answer your question, I barely handle it. But I'm doing it, you know, I'm wearing a lot of hats. Probably, you know, if I had my druthers, I would just be a writer full time. I have this fantasy about being like a traveling journalist and just meeting exotic places and cultures, environmental events and scientific events and writing about them and then submitting them as articles or short stories and so forth. And then, you know, it's just, I just didn't have these epiphanies about what I really core interests are until I got a little bit later in life. And thankfully, maybe it's sort of, you know, fate, if you will. I don't know, but I, you know, met James and he was very forgiving for somebody who'd never written a novel before and submitted this, you know, relatively sloppy manuscript that, you know, I think was confident about the ideas in it. And thankfully he was as well. And then with the, you know, candor of Athena and her brilliance in editing and so forth, here we are. So that's more than you asked, Amy. I'm sorry, but I just kind of...
No, I think that's great. I know Haley juggles a ton of stuff. So Haley, I know me and you are both millennials, so it's probably somewhat easier for us to do that. But how do you go about balancing everything that you pack into one day and still reading 10 books, doing 9 to 10 Instagram posts like James said? So how do you balance everything and write?
So as far as Instagram goes, I, you know, do that in 5-minute segments throughout the day. Like, that's not anything crazy. That's easy. Oh, I've got 5 minutes, you know, I'm not doing anything. Okay, let's go. The harder thing for the Instagram stuff is taking the photos, but it's a good thing that I actually really enjoy photography anyway. When I first started doing photography, I actually did wildlife photography. So living next to the Everglades was like perfect. And I also like to scuba dive, so I do underwater photography as well. Fish are a lot less kind than the birds. They really don't like to sit still, but it makes it fun. So, you know, I dive. My boyfriend and I, every Thursday is date night, you know, hands down. We're just like, all right, we don't care what's going on. We're doing something together, whether it's just watching a movie or we just order in, but, you know, we take the time. And reading is something I enjoy doing, so it's easy and I get sucked in really fast. So it's just like, ooh, and you're just like, oh, that was 500 pages ago. I'm done. Okay, it's been 12 hours, even less. And it's, you know, it's all things I enjoy, so it's not work
read
really.
so fast, my goodness.
Yeah, but I'm like you, I love reading, and so that's never a challenge to get that in. But what I do is end up realizing, oh my gosh, it's after midnight, and I need to get some sleep so I could get up in the morning, and I'm still reading this book, and I don't want to go to bed because I want to finish it. So,
See, I don't have that problem. I need sleep, and I get up at like anywhere between 5 or 7:30 for work. So I'm just like, cool, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to bed. Bye. And there's just no stopping me.
That's great if you can get all the reading in and do all that and still go to bed by 9 o'clock. So that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do have a great question for you guys because we have about 9 minutes left before we're done with live interviews. So my group question, and we'll kick it off, James, with you, is how many more books do you intend to write for, like, in kind of summing it up for, you know, 2021 is right on the corner. So how many books do you intend to write in 2021?
Well, I have 3 books in the works right now.
Ooh, wow.
I have the 2 books for the Killer series. Mm-hmm. So I have Killer with Black Blood and Killer with Ice Eyes to finish up. I'm working on, well, actually 4 books, because I'm working on The Diamond Warrior, which is the 3rd book in the Gemstone series. I still have The Ruby Cradle to put out, which is the 2nd book of the Gemstone series. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to go back to science fiction.
What about the mermaid? Where's the mermaid and all that?
Well, that the Ruby Cradle and the Diamond Warrior are the next two books in the mermaid series. The Gemstone series is about the mermaids.
Oh, good. I just want to get those. I want to get those.
That's exciting. You got 4 books hopefully coming out in 2021. That's exciting. John, what about you? Are you going to write another book?
Actually, I'm working on one right now. It's a little bit esoteric, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to write a little bit less esoteric. You know what I mean? Because my idea centers around it's formulaic. It has to do with why physicists can't reconcile the two disciplines of general relativity with quantum mechanics. Mm-hmm. And basically my idea is that general relativity is a synergistic emergence of quantum mechanics. And the reason why it fails when you look at singularities is because you fall below the threshold of that emergence, and then the synergy fades away. So you can't use that discipline to define the quantum mechanics. You understand? It's like trying to use the Super Bowl to describe Tom Brady. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I want
being a Giant fan, I can say that is right.
Well, right. So I just got that. Sorry, James. I was registered a little late, but now yeah, you know, right, exactly what he said. No, but but I have an idea about you know, discovering about, it has to do with it might be a little bit more political, as instead of a romance side of it, it might have a political side of it where a government figures out that they can actually get down into the quantum level and start programming quantum, the actual the fabric of the cosmos at quantum scales by putting packets of information that are universally theoretic in those manifolds, and then they can actually do things like, you know, change reality and so forth, because the scientist that figures out that synergy and that stuff, he's like, everybody's been looking the wrong way. Einstein was right. He's right about that synergistic, you know, but he doesn't realize that synergistic emergence can't describe the quantum mechanics, because it's a result of the teamwork of all those quantum nodes working underneath it. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I'm working on that book right now.
It does. No, that sounds fascinating. I can't wait to read it. So Haley, what is next for you in Nanagin?
So I am working on the second book, which is tentatively titled Conquest. It's gone through one round of beta reading, and they pretty much told me your beginning is crap and we don't like the ending. So I took out 30,000 words from the beginning, and I'm rewriting the ending, and I'm still working on that. It's my goal that's by the end of the year to have a draft 2 done and sent out to my betas again. And then I'm working on,
30,000. I'm like, if I get to 30,000, I'm like, James, I'm almost done.
You have to remember, I write long books. So like this first draft was 170,000 words. I can cut out 30 and it's fine.
And we'll cut out another 30 for you too.
I know. And then the next book is called Lexicon of the Gods, and it's a Greek mythology book, and it's more or less a godly child gets punishes and has to write a dictionary. So he's telling you why he has to write the dictionary while you're reading the dictionary.
Oh my God.
It's just kind of fun little
gimmick. You guys are so creative. That is, what a great idea. I love that.
I've had a lot of fun with that one, but it's kind of on the side right now, unfortunately.
Very good. So we have lots to look forward to from RockHill Publishing, because I know you got more authors than these two, James. So I can't wait to hear from some of the others. Now tomorrow night, right here, same link. So you guys go to the Sandy Lawrence page or the RockHill Publishing event page. Go look for the video. The live video will be coming to you live beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow night is Wednesday. So John, we'll see you again tomorrow night, because that's the romance panel discussion. So you'll be here. So who else will be here besides you, James, you and John?
I won't be here, but our romance writer, Athena, will be here. and Zach will be here, our historical fantasy writer.
Okay,
Not
so
fantasy, fiction writer.
fiction writer. So Zach Zakaris, Athena Hill, and
Athena Paris.
Sorry, Athena.
I'm going to start getting calls from my family in the moment.
Sandy, I think
Athena
Sandy,
Hill.
I think it's a miracle you can juggle all the names you can anyway. So
No,
congratulations.
I mean, I knew that wasn't right when I said it, but okay, so that's tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, we have live book reading. You're going to be here for that also, John, right? So John's our star of the week. He's been on every
No.
night.
On the, wait a second. Is John? Nope. It's Athena, Zach, David, and Mark.
Oh,
For the
John,
live
I
reading.
thought you were doing a live reading.
Well, I was hoping maybe tomorrow night during the romance thing, if you guys can cut out 5 minutes, I'd like to read it small, because I think it's very prudent to examine science fiction from a humanitarian perspective, because otherwise, what's the point? Who wants to read a engineering schematic, right? So science fiction has to have what, James?
I said, there you go. That's right. You don't
So
have some humanity in there.
I really
It's
want
like
the opportunity
technical
to
matter.
advertise some of the romance that I have in Dominion, to show that it has sort of that,
It has personality.
it has a personality, and it has at times where you might want to shed a tear or show some empathy and all that stuff,
We will make sure that you have 5 minutes so you can show that. I promise you. I'm the time Nazi on this group. So I will make sure that I give you 5 minutes so you can read from your book tomorrow.
And that's a great thing, because she's counting me down minute by minute by minute right now, saying you have 1 minute left. You have 2
All
minutes.
meant with love, you guys. It's meant with love. I love you all. I'm just in a time Nazi. So.
I know, and you're doing a great job. Haley, thanks for all your work for tonight. Thanks for being here, and your millennialism and for all you're doing with Instagram. So it's been a great week. I have really been enjoying it. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow night, as they say, same time, same station. So we'll see you at 7:00 Eastern tomorrow. And meanwhile, be telling the world that we're part of the Miami Book Fair. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for
Good
having
night,
me.
everyone.